Hey, I agree. Brand new construction is exciting. And to think that you're going to be the original homeowner and not have to do any maintenance items, everything is brand spanking new. And you just think it's a sure win, right? Nah, there's a lot of things you need to know about buying new construction, and they just don't tell you when you're not working with the right realtor. Let's talk about what those top 5 things are that you just got to know and they do not tell you. The first one is everybody tries to get the biggest bang for their buck and they're really going for the cheapest. But the first thing I would say is don't forget you're amortizing your purchase over a 30-year period of time. So while you're kind of going back and forth, maybe over a couple of $100s or a couple of $1,000, when you amortize it over a 30-year, even with the crazy interest rates that we have right now, it still is only going to cost you a nominal amount per month. Make sure you don't cut yourself short on new construction. And if you can get more square footage, make sure you pay attention to what will get you the biggest bang from the resale perspective. I always tell people to focus on the end game at the very beginning so that you always have an exit strategy. Some of the other things they don't tell you when you're looking online and you just see starting from the low 400s, you're like, yeah, 400,000 is what's in your head, right? Well, first of all, there are certain things that are included, and there are many things that are not included at all, or maybe the quality, the level of what they are including at the base price is not what you're thinking of. Let me tell you, when you're walking through these model homes, you are completely taken away. Just know that there are literally, the average is 100,000, and depending on the builder, it can be as much as $250,000 worth of upgrades and updates. And I'm not talking about the backyard. There's other things like lot premiums that you're not aware of. Again, the upgrades, like maybe it'll only come with, maybe the 3 choices of this type of quartz or granite countertop. But if you want to upgrade to the more desirable, trendy styles, it's going to be X amount of money. A lot of people are going no carpet these days. And to extend those tile walkways, it can be rather pricey. Sometimes, if you have the cash, it does make sense to do the bare minimum with a builder and then do some of the work after closing. If that's important to you, definitely let us know. We'll give you those questions. We'll walk you through the good, the bad, the ugly, and we'll help you decipher through. Another thing about working with new construction, the sales rep there is not going to tell you that they are not there to represent you. They are there to represent the builder, the seller, and to sell you. They're going to make statements like, I heard there's a store going in this way, or they say that there is a hospital going in over here, or they are expecting to build a school here. They don't know. In fact, most of the sales reps that work in these offices don't even live in the area. And think about it, they're not out in the resale world. They don't even know what their competition is like. They have only been told exactly what they are to tell you and to try and get you to sign on the dotted line. So it's super important that you understand our fees are covered actually by the builder. It does not cost you anything, and we are there to represent you. Here's another thing they don't tell you right off the bat. When it says like starting from the low 400s, is that again, anything above and beyond what is included in the standard deliverables is going to be out of pocket. And sometimes the builder will ask for additional money up front. You can expect that you will spend a minimum of 10% of that base price. Usually the industry standard is 20 to 25%. We are very familiar with which builders include certain things. And even builders, for instance, I can think of one right off the top of my head. When they were building in Gilbert, they included XYZ. And then when they were building up by Desert Ridge, they decided to also add LMNOP and XYZ. You get my point? Depending on where they are building, they may increase or decrease what the standard inclusions may be. If you are looking for the best possible representation, you have to have your own realtor. And here's another thing. There are some upgrades and amenities that are nice to have, and some of them will return dollars to you when you go to resell it, whereas some will not. Some investments, like for instance, these amazing, beautiful sliding glass doors that are 12 feet, 20 feet, and even 24 feet wide, they will only be a nominal amount of money that will add to the value of your home. Some of these windows can be in upwards of 25 to $30,000. So those are good conversations for us to have from a resale perspective if you're on a budget. This is why you need representation. It's more than just picking out your favorite tile and sliding glass, shower door. There's a lot more that goes into buying new construction. Don't forget the backyards are not included. Back way in the day, they used to include backyard landscaping, even let you put the pool in your mortgage. Well, unfortunately, because of our supply chain again, over the last couple of years, it was really kind of messing with pool companies and the builders, and they just said, we're stopping it. We're not doing that. So, again, sometimes maybe new construction isn't the right answer. Maybe it's a newer home. One of the other things people don't realize, again, they think that the drive is really not going to be that far from their main amenities that they're looking for. You are going to be also adding additional wear and tear in your car. Let me just remind you that Arizona is not known for great drivers. I have no idea where they're coming from. But you're also going to be looking at probably a little bit higher insurance. We do have cracked windshield. I would highly recommend glass coverage because otherwise you are going to wind up having a cracked windshield. Literally, I'm not kidding you. Once a year, you will be replacing it. Can't even talk. You're going to have more wear and tear on your tires. And just overall, like you're going to have more expense on your gas. Your oil changes are going to be more frequent. And I know it seems like nominal when you're thinking, yeah, but I'm saving $100,000 on the home. But when you amortize it over 30 years, like I said, what are the other costs that are going to be involved? Now, some of the other things are you're going to have a more energy efficient home. I would hide that is absolutely true, but you're not going to have any of the sunscreens. You're not going to have shaded trees. And again, sometimes a newer home is a little bit better than a new home. The other thing is that if you are looking for larger lots, new construction is going to be rather difficult for you. Large lots are just not a thing in the greater Phoenix area. But if you are thinking of newer, just not new, and when I say newer, less than 10 years old, there are a lot of communities that are closer in that have large lots that might better suit whatever your needs might be instead of just keep going out further and further and further. Now, if you are hard set on new construction, I happen to know of three new communities that are going to be coming in. They're all going to have minimum of 50 feet wide, mostly 60 feet wide lots, and they're going to be in some of the higher demand areas in the Southeast Valley. So again, if you're thinking of getting in early, which is the best time to get in with new construction, you got to give us a call so that we'll start looking for these type of opportunities for you. Here's another thing, new construction, you're going to have a lot more wildlife. I would love to say it's beautiful wildlife, but it's not. It's the ones you don't like. Mostly, I mean little tiny critters and more like spiders, scorpions, possibly snakes, depending on where you are going. The further we go out, the further we're going into their world. And being that it's new, you're going to have to kind of go through that as their world has literally been shaken up. So they won't be present at the time you close on your home, but you have no idea once that ground settles what will be coming back. So you're just going to want to be aware of that. And again, if you're abutted right up against a mountain, you're also going to see wildlife like coyotes. And we do have birds of prey throughout the entire greater Phoenix area. And what I mean by that is any small pets, you're going to want to make sure you're always keeping inside unless you're outdoors with them. And that would be for like the big birds that pick up little foofy, whatever your little pom-pom's name is. So you're just going to want to make sure that you are used to this or aware of this. And also, even if you go out to like in the Queen Creek area and even parts of Gilbert, there are a lot of livestock that are kept in this area, horses, cows, and there may be some aromatherapy of a sort. You're going into their world. So just be careful if you're too close to some of these type of areas that are filled with livestock. All right, guys, if you are thinking about buying construction, you got to give us a call. We have all the ins, the outs. We know what buyers are offering, different specials, different discounts, different type of concessions. We know what's coming up. We are on the preferred list. We have been working with the builders for myself 2 decades. This one has been in the market, the real estate industry, for 20 years. I can't wait to hear from you. Please pick up the phone, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. These nights or weekends, we got your back when moving to Phoenix, Arizona.